Hello and good afternoon. Welcome back to another edition of 3 questions, 20 minutes and one guest. Last month, we were talking with one of our advisors that helps us on insurance. This month, I'm super excited. We brought on Kristin Steele from LaunchPad Creative, who helps us with all of our marketing initiatives and PR and thought leadership. So important to have this as part of your business, regardless of being a real estate investor or whatever business you're in. Having someone that can help translate your brand and what your goals are and who you are as a company is really important. So I'm very excited to peel back the layers of the onion with Kristin, have a couple good questions for her. Again, we should be 20 minutes at tops, and I'm going to give Kristin the floor, let you introduce yourself, a little bit about your background and what you've done over the years, and then we can dig into our questions.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
My name is Kristin Steele, and I'm the founder of LaunchPad Creative. We're a marketing agency for the financial services companies. So we work with investment managers and sponsors and financial services companies on helping them define their brand and then build strategies around that to reach their marketing objectives and goals. We've been working with Dave now for, I guess, a little bit over a year, maybe.
No, I think it's like 2 or 3 years now.
Oh,
No.
geez, wow, time flies.
Yeah, definitely longer than, well, probably 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
We'll split the kitty there. How did you, before we get into the questions, but how did you get into the space and in the first place?
Oh, absolutely. So I've been in the financial services or alternative investments industry now for about 25 years. Started out in investor relations at a hedge fund, and then moved into other roles at fund administrator companies. I opened an office for a fund administrator in Charlotte, North Carolina, where our office is currently located, helping them really build out their presence and define their brand in the US. And I realized how much I really enjoy marketing, and have just taken on other marketing roles since then at a leadership level. So about 4 years ago, I decided to launch my own firm. And as I really saw a need in the industry to help firms really help them with brand development so they could really reach their objectives, whether that's raising capital for a specific project or really just building themselves out as a thought leader.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's get down to the questions here. The first one, you ready? Why should real estate investment sponsors take the time to develop their brand?
Wow. Yeah, this is a really important question that I feel that a lot of firms or people just sort of skip over initially. They don't invest as much into building that brand and building that time into developing a brand that I think would really set them up for success. And that really, building a brand is not easy. As you know, it takes time to do that effectively. And it takes a lot of upfront work that includes market analysis, defining your audience, understanding who your competitors are. And then from there, you can really build out a go-to-market plan. So first on the market analysis side is really defining, the area that you want to invest in. So the geographic area, the real estate, sector that you want to invest in, and really understand whether there is an opportunity for the type of asset in the geographic area you want to invest. And so if there is, that's great. So you've proven out part of your thesis, and now it's next is to move on to defining your audience. So creating those personas to understand, okay, yes, I want to invest in, multifamily and, the Sun Belt. But but are there investors? Is is this a good market for multifamily? So really building out those personas and understanding whether or not you'll be able to raise capital. And again, if you check that box and it looks like it's promising, next, go on doing the competitor analysis, understand what other firms are raising capital for similar real estate assets in the market you're looking to invest. Are they successful? Where are they stumbling? I mean, really figure that out. And again, if there's an opportunity for you to get in there and do things a little bit differently, you might carve out a space for yourself and attract some of the investors that might be investing in their projects or new investors in general. And then, of course, it's pricing, like investing in this market. Are you able to do that in a way where you can generate those returns that your investors are looking for? So that's also really important, and something I know, Dave, that you and your team really specialize in and are focused on.
Yeah. Great answer. And, it makes me think, and the next question I have is about the capital raising side, but, creating brand recognition and thought leadership, every business may have more than one target audience. And you talk about persona, right? And so part of being an investment company is also, being out there on the acquisition side and having the ability to attract other folks that will want to approach us about acquiring assets or working on projects. So, but turning back to the capital raise side, how, from the marketing perspective, how important is it to plan for a new capital raise? What's involved in that, and why is it important?
Yeah, a lot of planning goes into this in order to be successful. You just can't send out an email into your database and hope to raise capital for that specific project. Sometimes you might get lucky and you might happen, but a lot of times you need to really reach new people. And there's different ways to go about that. But we find that the clients that we work with that follow a really holistic marketing strategy or comprehensive strategy, do the best. So that involves like really, defining your edge. What is your brand positioning statement or value proposition? And to make sure that's clearly articulated through everything you do, whether that's marketing collateral, your website, email campaigns, whatever you're putting out there, just make sure it's consistent and clear. And again, invest in that marketing collateral, whether it's case studies, presentations, websites, really, again, being consistent from a look and feel perspective. And again, just from a brand messaging perspective, and think through, this thought leadership. What kind of thought leadership do you want to invest in? Is it writing articles? Is it getting on podcasts? I don't know, maybe speaking at conferences. Like, how are you going to emerge yourself as a thought leader? Because people invest with people they trust. So how are you going to position yourself as an expert in the field or in the asset class that you're looking to raise capital for? And then finally, just having a clear communication plan. And this doesn't mean just PR. It also means, how are you going to engage with your prospects and your current investors? How are you going to clearly articulate what you're looking to achieve, and also share your successes that you've already had. So again, having a clear communication plan, whether that's just internally with your people or externally with media, it's really important.
One of my favorite things to do on 3 questions is ask a 4th question. So I was just going to expand on that and just ask, like, as far as creating this brand and this persona, like, how do you kind of figure out that path? There are so many directions that you can go into, and how do you decide where to put dollars and effort, because there's always some limitation on it.
Yeah, it's so true. And you see so many people out there now, especially with social media and digital ads, like doing different things. You're like, oh, that works for them. But I really think it all comes back to all the analysis and research you've done from the beginning, looking at that market, looking at your audience, and understanding how they engage. So for example, LinkedIn, a lot of firms or sponsors do advertising on LinkedIn and spend a lot of time sharing thought leadership and just social media posts on LinkedIn. But that might not work for every sponsor. Sometimes Facebook or Instagram ads or even YouTube might be a better option. So it's really understanding, where your audience is, and then investing the time in doing that. Also, another big part of that is understanding what your strengths are. Are you better at communicating your value proposition through articles? Or are you better speaking? Like, what really works for you? And really start there with your strengths, and then you can build upon that. But I think, like, being able to position yourself as a leader in the space, or not a leader, but just an expert, really comes to how you feel most comfortable, right? And communicating that value and your knowledge to people.
Right. Great. I love it that you answered on the fly there. Um, all right. Our last question of the day.
Uh-oh.
What marketing strategies have been successful for your clients, albeit myself or another client of yours in this space?
Yeah, it's I think the clients that we worked with that have been the most successful have taken a holistic approach to marketing. So not just focusing on one specific thing and just like writing blogs, but figuring out how else to engage with your audience. So it's a lot of what we already spoke about, like do your research. Once you've proven out that thesis, build a marketing plan. So create consistent messaging. Again, that's really important. That's why I keep repeating that. Invest time in that thought leadership, which we just spoke about, whatever that is for you. And then one piece that we haven't spoken about is a CRM. Like a clean database will be your greatest asset, honestly, when you're starting to market. So invest the time in creating a really robust CRM. Define different audience segments in there so you can market to them differently. Use a system like we love HubSpot, for example. Use a system like an integrated marketing system where you can have a CRM component, but also be able to do ads through the CRM or email marketing or track reporting of like just how your marketing efforts are performing. Because it's important to continually engage people, whether that's through email campaigns or ads. And I feel too, another component that I think people forget is that once that prospective investor becomes an actual investor, the marketing doesn't stop there. So you need to continually nurture that relationship because they might invest in a future project, or even if they don't, they might just share with their buddies, like they had a great experience with your firm and might introduce you to other future investors. So I think, again, like the clients that we've had that have been most successful in raising capital quicker is really the ones who take a holistic marketing approach.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's, the one thing about marketing that I found, and I love working with you and doing all the creative stuff and helping to build out the brand, is that it doesn't happen overnight, and you need a long-term commitment to get to a place. Maybe you could, kind of share your own thoughts about that, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really hit the nail on the head there. Like it's marketing cannot be achieved overnight. And a lot of firms, they really want to build that brand equity. And that's really the trust between your brand and the audience. And that cannot be achieved in, a short time frame. It takes years to build because again, it's not only about marketing and promoting, it's about how you're treating those relationships long term and how you are improving on your process and improving on your investment approach and strategy going forward to generate even more returns, and how you're treating your investors and how you're treating your other stakeholders, whether that are developers or insurance agents or whoever's in your network. How are you fostering the relationships and treating them? So it takes time for sure.
Awesome. Well, Kristin, I want to thank you very much. So happy to bring you on. I know you were a little bashful about doing it,
Yes.
but you're behind the scenes type person instead of front. But you've done phenomenal today, and I'm happy to have connected with you and work with your firm. If someone wanted to reach out to you, how could they connect with you?
Oh, yeah. And thanks for having me on. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yeah, people can reach out to me by going to our website, launchpadcreativellc.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Kristin Steele.
Yeah. Again, thank you. And I appreciate everyone joining us and taking a little break out of their day. Hopefully you'll continue to watch our future episodes as we bring on other people that are part of the commercial and real estate industry that help build our business and can build your business as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.